All right, brethren. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Creator, this opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality. Creator, thank you for an opportunity to have fellowship with my brethren. Creator, I want to ask that you that you um, help my video, that you uh, anoint my video so that I might possibly say something and uh, just encourage my brethren to be joyful about who they are. I pray, Creator, that you help me to use me while I'm in this reality to share things that you have put me through in my life so that I may turn around and share them with brethren, and who knows, maybe be able to help them to get over the hump in a certain area. Creator, I pray for our soul confirmations that that our soul, that we may empower our soul to implement these things in our spirit, that they will become a part of our spirit both now and when we're born in the spirit. I pray for my brethren and their unspoken prayer requests, brethren that have needs. Maybe they're in a situation. I pray that, Creator, that you will glorify yourself and help the brethren, whatever particular prayer needs that they do have, and even that they might come and testify as well. Creator, I ask for beforehand that you forgive me for the mistakes that I make on the video, and the things that I say, some of the things that I do, that you will that my soul will be strengthened to make me better every day, as well as my brethren. Make us better every day. Make us our character, strengthen our character, and to work and build up our soul and dignity and truth, and to redeem the time while we are here in this reality. So, Creator, thank you for this opportunity. I pray for my brethren and encouragement for my brethren. And in your name, I give thanks. So let it be. All right, brethren. Thank you for joining me. Nazarene, got Mahalia, got Yafa. All right. Good start to the video today. All right, brethren. Here we are, another day. And I you know, I got a couple things that I want to share real quick. You know, we got a conflict in the world that is pretty serious, that I don't know if you brethren know about, but Israel and Egypt is beginning to be a problem, real problem. And the world today, anyway, it's like it's like a plate, it's like a boiling, it's like, you know how you have pots on the stove and then you put water in it and then you turn it up the heat and then it starts boiling at some point. And it seemed like the whole world, man, is just a bunch of boiling pots. And I I this current situation, if something don't happen, you brethren, I'm letting you know ahead of time. I'm playing the part of a watchman. You're gonna be hearing about it. Our lives, at some point, the situation in our reality, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And the way the world we live in, it's like the world waits until there's some explosion and then everybody runs, instead of seeing it ahead of time and then running before the explosion happens. And that's basically what we as faithists are doing. There's a situation going on in Israel and Egypt. I won't get into the weeds. I won't digress. I just want to warn you, brethren, that It's a situation that has some very ominous, it has very ominous ramifications, very ominous. You know, we live in a day and age right now that we don't, the creator, he could allow the world to move any different, any number of ways that will catch the current kingdom of man thoroughly off guard. It seems like um, you just don't know where the next hit is coming. So I just want to do my job and let you know that I like to follow geopolitical events, and I like to try to, you know, I like to try to report on things that I believe is going to affect you and your reality, no matter where you are. We all know that we're in a time, we're in the cosmic era where there's a changeover from the kingdom of man to the kingdom of God on earth. And at some point, Faiths are the creator's got a plan for Faiths, and I think that plan is to show the world that this is my will for man to be like. This is, these are my people. These are the people. These people here are my chosen. And like the brother came in, I forget which brother it was that came in the other day and said that he believed that the world was going to have to run to Faiths to learn the creator. And it made sense to me, made all the sense in the world to me. Man, the video that we did the other day on Tuesday, that was dynamite, man. That was, brother Omian came on. We talked for a couple hours, man. It was dynamite, man. It was the thing of dreams for me. That's what I pray that this channel can become, where you brethren, you have something, you want to say something or share anything, or, you know, I don't have to get on here and do like a do a I don't know, you know, a study. I don't have to do that. This can be a situation where you brethren can come on. You could tell me to step aside, and that, you know, and you, I'll just be like a reader for you, or I'll be, you know, where you can just tell me, hey, bro, step aside on this, this go round. I'm gonna go ahead and give a word. I'm gonna give a little our testimony or whatever. So the other day, the video we had was a dream video. The brother came on. He really knocked it out of the park. We had a good conversation, me and brother Omian, and oh man, I'm trying not to say blessed, because the sister told me it's equivalent to like be less, and I agree with that. And but um, he really uh that's like the only word you can use. He really blissed, BLISSED. And I encourage you, brethren, to be the same way. You know, you can come on here. I should put the link in the room. And just, if you want to share anything, you know, this channel, I really want to have it so that we can, we should get together. That's the main thing right there. You know, get together, talk, you know, have fellowship, have some sort of gathering, man, where we talk our own language, where we can try to edify one another. That's what it's all about. Having little things like this where we can get away from the world, because, you know, we don't have no one we could turn to. I'm sure you brethren will agree with me. This is hard for us to find some, it's really frustrating at times. You want to find somebody to have fellowship with, and it's very, very hard in this reality. And then when I read the Oahspe, the creator seems to say that second resurrection is like a gathering where brethren who are like-minded, they get together, he puts them together, and we do whatever it is that we do. You got to love it. But for right now, it's a real test, because sometimes you need to try to have someone a listening shoulder. Hey, Snath, all right. Good to see you. A listening shoulder. And that's very, man, I'm telling you, that's very therapeutic. You got somebody who you can call on a moment's notice and just let it hang out. I'm telling you, man, that's very therapeutic. We need that. So that's one of the reasons for this channel right here. For brethren to come on, just come on, man, and just, you don't have to really worry about being, wrong about what you're saying. And the objective is for us to be able to hear and to see one another, and to know that you're not walking alone. We just, is the creator real? And am I deceived? And this sort of thing. So one of the things that I found myself thinking about is this here is a channel, this channel here. If you got a problem with a brother talking about morality, a brother that talk about, because I found myself, let me move my chair here. I want to share something real quick, man. That y'all might go through the same thing. But I found myself, what's a good word for examining myself? I like to do it from time to time. I like to examine, I like to consider myself, like take stock of myself. I like to examine myself from time to time. I like to get in touch. I like to know myself. Like the Jesus Christ of the Bible said, to know yourself from time to time. And that takes sitting down, just being quiet and thinking about the things I guess it's like listening to your soul. And that's one of the things that where astrology, it really helps me, because it helped me to know the type of vibration I'm under. It helped me to know, it helped me to understand the world I live in. And I realized that I got a real problem with the imbalances in the world, and the injustices in the world. Yapa, she's a Libra. She may really know what I'm talking about. We're Libras. And with me, I got a real problem with that, man. In my older years, I look at the world I live in, and you see the imbalance, you see the haves and the have-nots. And it always has done something to me. Now that's my flavor. See, you brother, you got your own flavor. See, we supposed to show our flavor, give the world a little taste of our flavor according to righteousness. That's really what it's all about, man. You got your own flavor, I got my flavor, and we're supposed to give it to the world righteousness. We're supposed to learn the creator, learn his light, and then he basically tell you, hey, You free to make this cake however you want to make it. Just make sure you make it a cake. You use your own ingredients. And so when you learn and examine yourself, I'm finding out. It's like that scripture that Daryl brought out the other day. Y'all remember the scripture where he said, the ultimate is to acquire peace of soul. When you at peace with your soul, when you just are at peace with the way you are inside, and then you couple that with righteousness, brother, you home free. You home free, man. You tap into your soulmate, I guess you might even say. Man, that's what the whole world is looking for. I remember one time a basketball player, some guy, he said, they asked him a question, and he said, hey man, I got enough problems just trying to be me. I really thought that was a pretty cool statement, man. I really thought that was pretty cool, man. He said, hey, man, I got enough problems just trying to be me. He was trying to find his character, He want to live in dignity, He don't want to compromise himself to the world, Now we got brother on me. That means I can take a sip. Oh, brother, you bless my soul. Oh, I said it, man. Bless. I said it. Bliss. How about that? Bliss. BLISS. You bliss my soul the other day, and I really enjoyed talking with you, man. I just want to tell you that to your face, brother. I had so much fun talking to you. I really had a ball, man, and I'm sorry I'm harping on it. I hope that I can encourage you to do it again and do it often. So, ouch, I'm trying to fix something here. Okay. So, I forgot what I was saying. It seemed like the creator got us in a situation where we're in a school of sort where we are laying the foundation, because that famous verse where the creator said to go and make yourself, and it take time. But it reaps an eternal reward. Matter of fact, now that Omi is in the room, that reminds me, let me show his room on Facebook. Here's my room. Here's Mom's ministry, food ministry. Here's contact information. You can contact me. I try to target orphans, disabled, and elderly, but I won't turn away a brother that cries out for charity. I will not do it, man. I'm sorry. I will not do it. And if I can't meet the need, then I'm going to get on this video and I'm going to cry out for charity to help me with a brother or sister, who is in need. I just get a kick out of trying to, when you can help somebody get over the hump, man, it feel good. You know what I mean? The creator's way feel good when you can be instrumental in a brother or sister's life. Man, there ain't nothing better. It just ain't nothing better. And that's the kingdom of God. That's the kingdom, man. That's the kingdom of God. You know, I was trying to show a video the other day, and I showed some East Indian fishermen. And you would look at that video, fishing video, and you would look at it and say, man, them dudes is some backwards dudes. Look at that. They sit down and eat with their hands. They barefooted all, walking all over the fish that they catching, and, and they backwards, and man, look at them, man. They working, 18 hours a day and on that boat. But man, I look at it, and it looked like the kingdom of God to me. It looked like the kingdom of God, because they were as happy. They weren't complaining and bitching, and oh man, we've been working 5-6 hours, and they were happy. They were, really they just, man, because their mind was preoccupied. They didn't have time to sit and worry about things that trigger them and make them piss them off. And, you know, it looked like the kingdom of God to me, man, wearing rags and, and sitting down, eating with their hands. But what I saw is the togetherness that they exhibited. I saw the togetherness, man. I saw the fellowship. I saw the rejoicing. The only problem I had with the videos that I'm looking at when, at night, I like to look at them camping and fishing videos, and I like to look at the people. The only problem I have with those East Indian videos that I was looking at is they had a picture of Luamong. They, even before they go out to sea, and when they stock the boat and they get it prepared to make it, seaworthy, they got a ceremony where they offer food to the idol on the bow of the boat. They do some type of spiritual ceremony or something, and then they bless it. They do. I have to use that word. In this case, I can use bless. They, pray over it, and it's a ritual they go through, and then they show the captain's cabin, and there's all those pictures of Louis, Luamong, and East India, not Buddha, not what's the other idol all I can think of is Buddha. The Asiatic idols, they don't have a picture of them. They got a picture of Louis, and that's what make you shake your head like, man, damn, See, you could be the greatest guy, man, but if you, we live in a reality where the beast is swallowed the whole world. He done swallowed them, There you go, Nazarene. That's it, brother. Christening. Well, no, wait a minute. No. The christening is when you set the ship out to sea the first time, and they take the bottle of champagne, and then they bust it over the stern, and that sets the ship down the track into the water. That's the christening. But when they do this ritual before they set out to sea every single time, that's like a ritual, a christening is more like a one-time, celebration for the virgin voyage of the boat. And then the rituals like something they do where they asking God, please don't let our boat sink out here in this in the ocean. Yeah, it's something different there, but you get the idea. Oh, I forgot Brother Omian's rooms, man. So here's my room. Here's Brother Omian's room. If anybody if you new to this channel, then why don't you go ahead and send like a friend invite to the brother's channel here, and then if you want to try to find out more about what this type of channel is all about, see, we're people who the creator is really giving us one hell of a gift to search for the creator. We got something in us. We're called faithists, and we got something in us that make us believe in the creator, not God, but the creator. And it's an amazing thing because the whole world is going to follow along. We're just like progenitors, the faithists are. Matter of fact, in the Bible, it admonishes brethren to be like the he goats, be the first one out after the creator, the he goats. Be the first one out. The he goats are like the first one out. Time for the soul confirmations. So again, if someone is new to the room here, we're getting ready to do something called the soul confirmations. And you got to read what we got here on the screen. You got to read it slowly, prayerfully. And then you'll get caught up as to what we're getting ready to do here. We have the incredible opportunity to mold, to shape our soul. The creator, he tells us to prepare our soul. He tells us to make ourselves. And we just happen to be a sort of people that believe that you can make yourself, that you can shape yourself, that you can what's a good word for mold, sculpt yourself. So when you read that, that'll give you a good idea and help you get caught up to what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing here. Now, Sister Elizabeth gave me a good idea to do one soul confirmation a week. That way you can get it good. And even I was able to remember the soul confirmation because we just been doing this one for the week. And man, that's a good deal, because you can remember it, you can call upon it, you can remember it, and you don't want to just read something and keep forgetting about it. It ain't no good, man. It's better to be able to call upon a particular soul confirmation whenever you need to occupy your mind or something. And it's good to pull one of these out and get some work done while you hanging out during the day. Get some work done on your mind. Do a soul confirmation. Make up your own. So on 3, we're doing this one. Well, I can't highlight it, but we're doing the one where it says, I am a soul organizer of the potencies. We're going to do that 3 times together on 3. 3 times together on 3. Okay, so ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. I am a soul organized of the potencies of the living eternal I am. Again, 1, 2, 3. I am a soul organized of the potencies of the living eternal I am. Again, 1, 2, 3. I am a soul organized of the potencies of the living eternal I am. and I think that word potencies is equal to like the word power and force and et cetera, et cetera. And so you think about it, you know, it don't seem like, the creator, you read the Oahspe. I mean, you know, it don't seem like the creator want you hanging out all haphazard. There she is, Elizabeth. Yep, that's the sister that got me doing this on, one a week. I mean, it seemed like the creator, he don't do things like haphazardly, you know. I mean, we know that we under a plan. All of us know, we should know we under a plan, right? You got to know we under a plan. So I was talking a little earlier about the importance. I think it's important to know yourself, man. I think that is so important. At least that's what the creators seem to be showing me. So that you can have that peace that the brother, remember Brother Durrell, he showed us the other day, that verse where that was the highest attainment for a brother or sister. Peace, man. You realize who you are down to the core. This is who you are. So I share what I am down to the core, and looking back, I confirm it. What's been closest to my, my heart, the things that get my attention, that seem to get my, it seems like the imbalances that I see and the injustices that I see, it seems to get my attention. And now the creator has got me in the read or under the Oahspe, sharing the light of the Oahspe with me, and that helps me shape. That helps me shape my, it helps me to adjust my vibrations to exhibit righteousness. So, I mean, I'm saying all that to say this, this is a channel where you're going to have a hard time with me. If you don't like when a brother, when he get on here and I start talking about the injustices and the imbalances, and I'm not just saying, one side against another. When I was a Hebrew Israelite, I used to be one-sided because I was a racist. But now the creator has opened my eyes to see that injustice and imbalances anywhere, it rubs me the wrong way, whether it's against whites or against blacks. And you might have a hard time with my channel because when I see injustices against whites, it's going to piss me off. Forgive my choice of words. When I see injustices against blacks, I don't like that word, Negroes, it's going to piss me off because the creator he taught me that we all are brethren and sisters. And so my mind is, if I wouldn't like it if somebody were to constantly come against my family and get over on us. I wouldn't like that. I'm going to say something. Same way in the spiritual now. Same way in the spiritual, man. And the kingdom that we live in is full of imbalances and injustices. And I imagine the creator, he wants you to look the other way. A lot of times he wants you to be able, I think that the Ethereans, they don't get as affected as somebody, I guess, on my level. They have different ways of dealing with the imbalances and the injustices that we got to look at here in this reality. And the Ethereans, man, they on a level where they don't seem to get triggered. They don't seem to get freaked out, man. But I do love knowing, and maybe you, brethren, can agree, when you find yourself, when you hit your stride and you know yourself, you're inside, there's a certain peace, man, that seems to come with that. Like that brother said, that basketball player said, he said, man, I'm just trying to learn how to be me. Because you got, he's got everybody pulling at him, and, trying to get him to go this direction and be this way, be that way. I love this about you. I hate that about you. And then sometimes you could fall into trying to be everything to everybody, and you get all discombobulated, and, you look back and you're just a mess. But I tell you, man, that's a valuable lesson. I think that when you know yourself and you just know the way you are, you know what your vibration is, and then you can start shaping that after you read the Oahspe, and then you can start shaping yourself. I think you're home free, man. You are home free, because the world cannot take that away from you. Right, Fritz? Right, brother? Fritz. And so, Creator, thank you for the change of watch tonight. The 20th. Today's the 20th. Angels will change watch tonight. Is that right, Creator? The change today's the 20th. It's a change of the moon. It's the one of the quarters of the moon. So thank you, Creator. So before I get to the reading, let's do a couple of verses here real quick. Here's one right here that I wanted to share with brethren. It says, "Hear the judgment of your Creator, which is that when all your subjects and feudals and wisdom." Now, this was an account. Where did I get this from? I think it comes from the book of Sue, and the Ethereans or somebody came down to the false gods, false lords kingdom, and they wanted to turn them around. So they decided to give them a show. And then at the end of it all, when the false gods, false lords, they repented, I don't know who was, the Ethereans or the gods, or and now we got Jamia in here. Man, we are hot tonight, brother. We're hot tonight. We are hot tonight, brother. Now all we need is somebody to come on and say, Yaquab, step aside, man. Here, I'm going to give a quick word. That's all we need now. Somebody hit the link. Come on. Say, Yaquab, step aside, brother. I'm going to run things for today. I'm going to give a word. For 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 brethren to come on all at once. Yaquab, step aside, bro. We gonna run things for today. Good to see you, Jamia. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. How come you weren't at the Wednesday study? Asenath, Jamia, where y'all be? Wednesday study? We had a good study last night. We talked about the Beast Kingdom. We talked about the Beast. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jamia, she had a child. Yeah. What's your child's name? Why don't you give us the details? Here, you want to come on? Why don't you click on the link and come on and tell us all about it? What is your child? What's the name of you? Is it a boy or girl or how's everybody doing? Well, I won't force you, but you know how to just click on the link if you want to come on and give us the details. Oh, she's pregnant now. Oh, look at that. How many months are you? How do you like that? Jamia's pregnant. The baby's still cooking. All right, well, I'm gonna keep going with the video. Let's see, what do we got here? From the Book of Sue, they gave I think it was the Ethereans came down. Okay, her child is due in July. Oh, can y'all hear me? You see what happened to the sound yesterday at Bible study? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you was there, Nazarene. You was there. I don't know, man. The brother's sound cut out. He couldn't get back in until like almost the end of the Bible study, and I don't know. Some type of technical glitch. Yeah. All right. So let me see. What do we got here? It says, hear the judgment of your creator. Now, this is the Book of Sue, I think. And the lesson here, basically the reason why I posted this was that it reminded me of spiritual grades because I put spiritual grades are important here. And for some reason, it reminded me of spiritual grades. You know, I'm telling you, man, spiritual grades are important. Wouldn't you, brethren, agree? Would you not agree, man? That do you brother know that we're responsible for other people's spiritual grades? Did you brother know that? I know you know that. You know that? We are, yes, us, faithists. We, the creator, he hold us account. You know, I'm telling you, man, you know, the creator, he hold us accountable. You know that? That's why it's important how you deal with people. I'm telling you, man. Remember, y'all know the Oahspe, you talk about you lower somebody's spiritual grade. See, that's why this channel, you know, it's kind of, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody because I talk about stuff like this. I shed the light on you, on us, on me. Because when I read the Oahspe, there's a verse in the Bible where it says one man looks at the forest and he sees the branches, another man sees the splints of wood, another man sees a boat that can be built with it. And, you know, different brethren have different viewpoints. And this seems like the viewpoint, the vibration the creator has me under is I look at how I can help how I can take advantage of the current reality. How can I benefit from his word? What do you want me to do with it? How can I tap in to the power that you are saying, you know what I mean, that I have? And so when I look at the Oahspe, when I read it, I'm interested in what the creator's got to say about my, you know, the type of person that I am, whether I'm going down the right road or I'm going down the wrong road. And, you know, the importance of the effect that I have on other people. I want to know how my relationships, how they affect me spiritually, how they impact me spiritually, because I know they do. So it might be hard on brethren to hear a brother talk like that about I know that people don't like to have the focus put on them where it can sound like they're under some sort of condemnation. I know that it can easily sound like that, but when I read the Oahspe, I think it's important to internalize it and look at it like the creator is saying, okay, you're in that situation there. You could be prone to being this way, but it's going to hurt you in a way that you can't see if you don't learn this lesson here. The way that you deal with other people, it affects you. It affects you now, and we would never have known that if the creator had not told us. So this is a channel here where I look at the Oahspe, I see that the creator, he says, this is the work that you should do while you are in the earth. You should work on your there are things that you should work on. There are things that you should realize so that when it comes time for you to come to be born into your spirit, that you can redeem the time to the utmost. One of those things is the effect that you have on other people. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I posted this right here. It talks about the false gods and the Ethereans. I think they came down and showed them the power, the pomp, the majesty of the Etherean realm of the false gods and false lords. They repented, wanted to be a part of it. And basically they were told this right here at the end, that when all your subjects and feudals are arisen in wisdom and virtue and good works, so as to take the second resurrection, then on that same day you shall be promoted. You should be seen. The creator is saying this type of stuff here don't escape my notice. When he tell me that I got a responsibility to other people, he telling me I got a responsibility to other people. He says only then can you have freedom of soul. So the way I act can affect somebody's spiritual grade. And people, they look at us. I know people that we minister in ways we don't even know. I know I know the world look at Oahspe. We may not think that we're not alike, but we are. I know that the world, they look at Oahspe and they learn one thing or another. They learn off your example. I know they do. I know they do, man. You know? And if that example that you carrying, it decreases people's spiritual grade. You carrying an example, you got an example where you decreasing somebody's spiritual grade. You know what I mean? That's serious business. You got the type of example where I'm telling you, man, I don't see how you can't get it when you read the Oahspe. Basically, we got a responsibility to each other, man. Let me see. Omian says, is that the book of Lika? This here is this here is the book of Sue. This here is the book of Sue. This comes from the book of Sue. It says, the voice ceased, and the self-gods and self-lords answered, you are just, O Jehovah. We will go to work among our poor and ignorant subjects and make them comprehend your wisdom, power, and justice. So I'm telling you, man, we got to respond. So in that case, man, your behavior is almost as important as what your wisdom is. I mean, I can't stop thinking about that, I'm responsible. I I remember one time, like, I hate to be on the phone. I hate being on the phone unless it's with one of my own kind. I don't like it when the world calls me. I get off as fast as I can. You know, the world called me, say, "Look, you get ready to have a heart attack," and I say, "Okay, is that it? Is that all you got to say? All right, bye." You know, I don't like, and sometimes, like a nurse will call and they'll get real chatty. The women get real chatty. And I can't stand that. It's one of them things I got to work on. That Yaiquab's got to work on. I'm a meat and bones type of brother. You know, I'm a meat and bones sometime. In the world, I'm a meat and bones. Is that what you call it? Meat and potatoes, you know, with my own kind, meaning like with other faiths. I'll talk to you until the cows come home. I will talk to you, brother, because I will let it hang out with you, but with the world, I don't like BSing around. I don't like chewing the cud, like I used to, talking about nothing. I just need to get better at that because that's the part. Well, anyway, to make a long story, let me see. Nazarene says, what chapter and verse in the book of Sue? Chapter 6. I'm gonna highlight it. It's chapter 6, verse 15. Chapter 6, verse 15. Well, one nurse called me and she just started getting real chatty, and I could feel my blood pressure going up. And the conversation got to where she would ask me a question. And then when I went to answer, she interrupted with another question or another comment. And then when I thought it was my turn to talk, I started to talk. And then she jumped in with another question or comment while I was trying to answer. And so I got quiet and she said it. And then when I went to answer, she went, it was that type of conversation. And then the third time she interrupted when I was trying to answer, I blew up. I blew up. I said, well, what do you, I started screaming. I said, do you want me to talk or do you want me to be quiet? What do you want me to do? Because she was asking me questions. And, that's where you got to bear with people, man. You got to bear with them. You have to suffer people. And sometimes I ain't good at that. I just ain't good at that sometimes. And then after I got off the phone with her, I said, the inspiration said, Yaiquab, you lowered her spiritual grade. You yelled at her, and there was no reason to yell at her. You got impatient. You can't be doing that, brother. You leave her walking away, even though she don't know you were faithless. See, now she may get off the phone and then somebody say something to her and she cuss them out because of you. See? That's the way it worked, man. I'm telling you, I know that's the way it worked. See? And then that person she cussed out, they turn around, you know what I mean? And then they go find somebody. It spreads. I'm telling you, man, that's got to be what the creator, why he be warning against the way you be dealing with other people, man. I know children, they pick up on their parents and they pick up, man. And then they take it out. They take it, they internalize it. And Oh, wow. The creator is trying to tell you, you know, don't do that, man. See, you doing things that you don't know about. Be patient. Be kind, man. You know, that's what I was thinking. When I was dealing with the sister. See, we got work to do, man. Come on. You know, we got work to do, man. So be careful when you come on this channel. All right, because I talk about stuff like that. I like to face it. I like to face the unpleasant things of the spirit when they have to do with me, things that convict me. I convict me. I convict you. I convict everybody, you know, because I go right to the parts of the Oahspe that I see can be a problem, you know. When you work on the weakest link, you home free now because then other ones don't need that much work. See? But of those who fell, this is the history. They question first my person, next my wisdom, then my justice, finally my power. Consider it the injustice of a man who says, "You shall see as I see, hear as I hear," or who says, "I have proven this to be true, and that to be untrue," or who says, "Behold, we are many witnesses and we attest." Basically, the man that points to himself, you know. The Oahspe, man, is just full of practical, personal changes. It's, time for the reading of the word. Wow, how do you like that? How do you like that? It's time for the reading of the word. Wow. How do I get those smiley faces off the screen? Look at that. They won't go away. All right. So let's go ahead with the reading of the word. Now, the name of the video is "A New System in Order for Earth," and it comes from a website that I found that just is all right. Whoa, wait a minute. Is it the new system in order of the earth? Did I already do this one and I meant to do something else? No, I think this is a new study. Okay. This is part 3. All right. This is a website called My Oahspe. And man, this is really, you gotta now a good thing that Brother Omian and Brother Durrell brought out. See, we found a couple of deficiencies reading this. See, some of the wording was problematic, but by far it's still sufficient, you know. By far, this website, man, he did a good work. You gotta love brethren like this, man. You gotta love it, man, because he helps you to encapsulate, to summarize, to compartmentalize. Um, let me see. And Nazarene says, drop the link. You mean, for this here study? Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, so that's the website right there. I think it's got like 5 or 6 parts to it. And it's beautiful, man, because he helps you to get an overview. Once you get an overview, then you can go and read the Oahspe yourself. Then you can add to it where he left off, where he misses out. See, like I give an example. I read it for like a few minutes, and I learned. I mean, it taught me about the difference between what Apollo came to do, what Thor came to do, what Osiris came to do. It taught me about the first 48,000 years of creation and the 24,000 years after that. And it talked about the imbalances and the whole big picture of the Oahspe and how it's meant to teach you. It's meant to creator is showing you the progression of man from trying to get him to balance out the spiritual and the physical. And it just, I mean, that was just after that helped me build my foundation. Now, when I go in the book of Apollo, I could see that what the agenda was, the beautifying of mortals. And then I can go into the book of Thor and I could start off with the foundation that Thor's thing is to strengthen us spiritually. Then I can go and read in the book of Osiris and I can learn that Osiris thing was to bring us back to the corporeal side of learning with the sun, moon, and the stars. See, all of this, and that's not comprehensive, is just giving you a way to, when you read a particular book, now you could try to get a glimpse of what's a good word for the theme of what you're reading. Get a sense of the theme that you're reading, you know? And then we can build from there. See, once we get a little foundation going, you know what I'm saying? And then we can see where the particular God or Lord, where they're going to show us, see, this is how, see, when you get the big picture and how the creator, he wants man to be balanced. He wants him to have spiritual and corporeal, Now, he's trying to balance man. See, you read Oahspe throughout history, we don't believe or we believe the spiritual to the detriment of the corporeal, or we believe the corporeal to the detriment of the spiritual. And so ever since our 72,000 year history, it's been a struggle to get, okay, balance them out, balance them out. Now we here in Cosmic, where we gonna, the fruit of all the history of the Oahspe is going to bear the fruit of contributing the most to us harmonizing spiritual learning and corporeal learning. The full man, the complete man. Because right now, the situation where we are right now, we're still, if you were to ask me, I would say, yeah, right, Nazarene, cosmic, balance, see? Balance. That's Libra, right? Libra the scales. So it's like we're if you were to ask me right now, where we are with the balancing so far, we're slightly, I think that materialism and ego is in the lead, you know. Materialism and ego, it's in the lead. It's in the lead in the sense that it occupies people's minds more than the spiritual. But the spiritual is not far behind, because you got a lot of people, they see, if you get on the social media, you see people talking about spiritual, esoterical type of things. You see what I mean? So you know that crowd is out there too. But materialism and ego is still in power. is still empowered. They set the rules. They say what goes, and ain't nothing you can do about it. They got the power. But see, the creator now, age of Cosmic, Pluto going into Aquarius, he's going to take away that power. See? Now he's taking it away. See? He's taking it away. It's like the creator said, look here, you had all these years, right? That I've been dealing with you, trying to get you to balance the corporal and the spiritual, to get you to see, to live with one another, love one another, be your brother's keeper. That's been the whole objective. But you keep swinging from one side to the other, whatever serves your interest at the time, Sometimes you get curious about the spiritual, and that's cool, but then you do it to the detriment of the physical. But I want you to get both of them on the level. So you can respect the earth. You can respect the spiritual. You can respect the gods, lords, and angels. You can respect your brother. And that's the only way now you can live together. And both of you can be, she said, don't say blessed. 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 May the Creator bless the reading of His Word. Part 3, New System and Order for Earth. See? Now, did I read? Let me make sure I didn't read this before. Nope, I don't think I read this. Okay, good. Good. See, we in for some good eating here, brother. You see this? This is a good old, I was going to say steak dinner. Plant food. Tofu. Yeah, bliss, Nazarene. See, this is a long read right here. I'm going to have to do part 2 tomorrow. I ain't rushing this. I ain't going to rush it. We getting ready to eat some good vegan food here, brother. Huh? We going to eat some good vegan food. May the Creator bless the reading of His Word. Part 2 of this synopsis covered how angels were brought to earth to raise man upright and teach him to understand and give him words of speech, because man will also be angels in time to come. These angels were tasked to go and deliver Asu, Adam. From darkness he shall also rise in spirit to inherit my enduring worlds. And because this occurred at the end of the age of Simu, the angels were able to construct corporal bodies and eventually procreated with the Asuans, which bound them to the earth to raise up their offspring to at least the 6th generation. Because the earth became populated with angel / Asu offspring that were capable of learning spiritual things, the earth became a harvester of souls. Or in Oahspe's words, an ornament in heaven, a harvester of bright souls for my exalted regions in the firmament, or a place of souls of man to germinate. Earth is not the only world that harvests souls. The new system and order established on Earth is the same kind of system set up on many other worlds. How do you like that? So this ain't the only place that this system is going on. Before moving on with Oahspe's 72,000-year recorded history, this synopsis will segue for a bit to provide a deeper look at Earth being a harvester of souls planet, which will provide context for events to come. So we see that the Oahspe is dealing with a 72,000-year recorded history. Although, Book of Jehovah is giving you the billions of years that the earth has existed as well. But the written recorded history, it goes back 72,000 years, creation of man, all from then up till now, 72,000 years. Really a little more because we, Cosmic era, I think that was 72,000 years. The earth is a harvester of souls. Earth being a harvester of souls means that human souls experience corporal life on earth. And then spiritual life in earth's heavens, atmosphere. And this is all in preparation for their souls to eventually leave Earth's atmosphere, meaning the third resurrection, third realm, I think it is. To leave Earth's atmosphere. Now, I could be wrong. Etheria is outside of the third resurrection, I think. That's what I should be saying. Etheria is like outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Etheria is like, see, it's telling you here on the chart. Atmospheria is 1, 2, 3. Etheria is outside of that. Etheria, brides and bridegrooms. Etheria. So the earth, the embryo, and just like life, and then we born in the spirit, and then we continue our progression. We continue our progression. Really simple, man. The way the creator, this is simple, good, simple stuff, Joey said, I created the earth and fashioned it and placed it in the firmament. And by my presence brought man forth a living being. A corporeal body gave I him that he might learn corporal things, and death I made that he might rise in the firmament and inherit my Ethereal worlds. There you go. That's the big picture right there, All of us are meant to inherit Ethereal worlds. See? The Asu were not much different than animals. The first man. We weren't much different than animals. But after they got together with the angels and procreated with the Asu, when the angels and the Asu came together, their offspring became a new race called man. And the differences between animal and man are what makes the human soul harvestable. The difference between animal and man are what makes the human soul harvestable. Part 2's creation of man section introduced the differences between man and animal. How like animal is born with all the instincts that it will have in its life. But its instinct is direct inspiration, and man has both direct inspiration and indirect inspiration from the creator. Animal has only direct inspiration. That's still a mystery, though. it seems like it's saying that man, he can discern intentions on another level than an animal. Intentions. Well, I don't want to digress too much. I get off topic. But this synopsis will take a closer look at the unique characteristics and capabilities of mankind that made such a thing possible and inevitably desirable. Man was helpless, crawling on his belly, and he understood not the voice of the Almighty. And Job he called angels who were older than the earth. He said unto them, Go raise ye man upright and teach them to understand. What makes the soul of man harvestable? Oahspe's description of mankind reveals at least 6 fundamental differences between animal and man. 6 fundamental differences between animal and man. The spirit soul of man is capable of immortality because, unlike animals, it is an individualized part of the Creator's soul. The spirit of man progresses forever. The evolution of the soul. Oh, here it is. Man receives both direct and indirect inspiration. Animals receive only direct inspiration. Now, man has the capability to comprehend the Creator. Man can share knowledge with others using words. Man aspires to use his or her talents for eventual ascension in theory to wider fields of labor. Let me see. Omi's got something. He says, older than the earth, but some of these angels still had sex with Ashurans. Okay. Talking about the angels that made it with the Asuans, older than the earth, but some of these angels still had sex with the Asuans. Unenlightened man. Examples and evidences of these differences will be revealed along the way by Oahspe's historical account. But the first difference, which is that the spirit soul of man is capable of immortality, is so foundational that it will be covered now. Somehow the Creator quickened the spirit of the angel Asu offspring, meaning the new race called man. He said, fruit of your seed have I quickened with my spirit. Oahspe states that the Creator is 3 parts: his body, his soul, his speech. For animals, the Creator quickened their spirits into life by his hand. But for the new race of man, the Creator quickened their spirits by his spirits, by his spirit. For animals, he quickens them by his hand. For men, he quickens by his spirit. It's almost like it get the idea like he wanted to create animals. He sits down on the beach, picks up the sand, and he shapes it and creates it that way. And that's the animals. But when it came to man, he used his from out of his own substance, of his own self. If I could say that. Therefore, the animal spirit is part of the Creator's body, while the spirits of the new race of man are part of his spirit. Okay. That makes sense. The The quickening made the spirit of man more individualized, which is called the illusion of separation today. But more importantly, the spirit of man became capable of immortality. As the corporal earth passed away, so shall pass away the first race, Asu. As the corporal earth passes away, so shall pass away the first race, Asu. But as I pass not away, so shall not pass away the spirit of man. Okay, for differences 2 through 6, the spirit of man progresses forever. Man receives both direct and indirect. Man is capability to comprehend the Creator. Man shall share knowledge with others using words, and man aspires to use his or her talents in eventual ascension. Okay, for differences 2 through 6, they are grouped together here because they are casually intertwined. So he's going to go through these differences here between animal and man and expound on it where we getting ready to read right now. Only the spirit of man progresses forever, and this is possible because man receives both direct and indirect inspiration from the Creator. Okay, I read that. I'll read it again. It says, this capability to receive both direct and indirect inspiration, it gives man the ability to comprehend the Creator and share knowledge with others using words. And all these differences support and enable only man to aspire to use his or her talents to serve those beneath him or her, which purifies the soul in strength and wisdom, resulting in eventual promotion to wider fields of labor beyond Earth's atmosphere and ethereal. Everywhere you turn in Oahspe, man, you got somebody serving somebody. Creator says here, in only man to inspire, it says, man, his differences enable him to inspire to use his or her talents to serve those beneath him and her. To serve those, take on the mind of a servant. Do you have anything other than the mind of a servant? The fruit of your behavior towards somebody else, it causes a decline in their spiritual grade. That's not resurrection. That's not resurrection power. Only man, all of these differences support and enable. All of these differences support and enable man. These differences up here between man and animal, 2 through 6 here. All of these differences support and enable only man to aspire to use his or her talents to serve those beneath him or her, which purifies the soul in strength and wisdom, resulting in eventual promotion to wider fields of labor beyond Earth's atmosphere and ethereal. Now, we looking at a table. It says table 1 provides relevant quotes from Oahspe that support these 6 differences between animal and man. Okay. All right. The spirit of man is part of the Creator's spirit soul, so capable of immortality. He should have. Why he didn't post the chapter and verses is beyond me. Okay, but he makes a statement: spirit of man is part of the Creator's spirit soul. And that's why he is capable of immortality. And then he gives a reference where he does not give the quote the verse. I mean, we can find it. For my animals, I bestowed like a vessel that is full of water. No more can be put into them. And also, when the vessel is destroyed, the water runneth back to the ocean. I quicken them into life by my own hand. But when I take away my hand, lo, they are gone back into dissolution. As a drop of water hath no power before the sun, but evaporateth, and is seen no more. So is the spirit of all the animals. How do you like that? Here today, gone tomorrow. It's like eth dissolves them. Eth. And they're nothing. They're no more. It says, when my angels let go of their hands on my spiritual animals, their spirits fall into the sea of my body and are seen no more. But to thee, O man, I gave power for everlasting life. Here's another statement. Spirit of man progresses forever. Here's a confirmation. It says, through the waters of the ocean, though the waters of the ocean rise up and make clouds, and the clouds fall down as rain and run to the rivers, and thence back to the oceans. 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 10,000s of times, yet that water hath not progressed. Neither have I given progress to a stone, nor a tree, nor to an animal, but to man only have I given progress. So water is water, will always be water. It won't be anything other than water. So man is a baby, he grows up, he becomes a god and a king, or a god or a goddess. Water stays the same, the element. But a man starts off one way and he progresses to become something far, far greater than when he started. He says, neither created I any animal that walketh on land or flieth in the air or swimmeth in the water that crawleth on his belly with desire for spiritual life, nor with the capacity to aggregate the spiritual entity. Neither created I any animal that walketh on land or flieth in the air or swimmeth in the water or that crawleth on his belly with the desire for spiritual life. They don't have no desire for spiritual life, nor with the capacity to aggregate the spiritual entity. They cannot join the two together. The physical and the spiritual. Here's the third statement. Man receives both direct and indirect inspiration. It says, I desire all living animals which I created, but they know it not. I inspire all in living animals which I created, but they know it not. I inspired the spider to make its net, the bird to build her nest, the wild goose to fly south before winter cometh. Every living creature do I move and control by my inspiration upon them. Although all inspiration goeth from me to all living directly, yet I also created man susceptible to indirect inspiration from all my creations. So, like when we read the Oahspe, that's indirect inspiration, right? When we read the Oahspe, that's indirect inspiration. New Bro got direct inspiration. It's indirect inspiration to us. An animal can't read this book and get the understanding, but a man can. He says man has the ability to comprehend the Creator. And then the confirmation says, and to man only gave I capacity to comprehend the idea of me, his Creator. Man can share knowledge with others using words. Of all the animals I created in the world, to man only gave I capacity to transmit knowledge to his brethren by words. To man only. He says, man aspires to use his or her talent for eventual ascension to its ethereum. I made man capacitated to receive inspiration from all living. I designed him from the first to work his way up to the Godhead, understanding all below him. See, Omi says John Blue Newborough was also indirect inspiration since it came from. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. It came from the creator to angels to Newborough. So that's indirect inspiration. He says, I made man capacitated to receive inspiration from all things. See, we can receive inspiration from each other. You know, we can get indirect inspiration from each other. We can receive inspiration from all things. I designed him from the first to work his way up to the Godhead, understanding all below him. The mortal desireth to become a spirit. Then his ambition is to become an Etherean. Next, an Orion. Next, a Nirvanian. How do you like that? Etheria, Orion, Nirvanian. Next, an Otian. Yeah, Omi was talking about that a while back. Levels of glory, if you ask me. Can you imagine being an Otian? Oetian? And then to travel the surveys of the magnitudes. This is endless progression, man. It's a shame we don't have a clear picture in corporeality of what this means. For the remainder of this segue about Earth being a harvester of souls planet, a closer look at how mankind receives both direct and indirect inspiration from the Creator is necessary, because it could be considered the potentiator that makes the other differences possible. Animals receive only direct inspiration, which is often called instinct. I inspired the spider to make its net, the bird to build her nest, the wild goose to fly to the south before the winter cometh. Every living creature do I move and control by my inspiration upon them. Direct inspiration is sufficient for animals because it enables them to do what is seemingly natural, innate, and instinctual to survive. But mankind was designed for more than survival. So animals are born complete. They have all the instincts they have all the directives, they have all that they are ever going to need right then and there when they're born. Immediately they know a predator, even from birth. Direct inspiration. Mankind was designed to progress forever and work his way up to the Godhead, understanding all below him, which is the level of wisdom needed in Etheria. You can't even imagine that, man. The Lord said, all the instinct that is in the bird or beast or fish or insect or creeping thing was created with them. But man was created blank, and yet man shall attain the more subtle senses than any other living creature. And that's certainly true, ain't it? That's certainly true. We know to stay away from a mousetrap, not to try to grab that piece of cheese. We know it. A mouse will walk right up there, snap. But a human know better. Indirect inspiration comes from virtually anywhere and everywhere. The environment, from unseen angels, from positive or negative consequences of one's actions, and so on. If inspiration moves someone to harmony, wisdom, and to life, then it is directly or indirectly from the Creator. Huh? I didn't like that. You hear a song, you dance, that's indirect inspiration. If it moves someone to disharmony, falling into depth, then it's inspiration from man's surroundings, which is still just another form of indirect inspiration from the Creator in terms of consequences. Now, that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. In other words, where do you draw your inspiration from? Is the inspiration leading you downward or upward? Does it lead you to ascend or descend? The inspiration you're under. That's a very heavy thing. Are you hearing from the Creator or are you hearing from the flesh? Are you drawing your inspiration from the flesh? Are you drawing it from the Creator? I mean, in both cases, it's indirect inspiration, but one ascends and the other one descends. Mankind is not alone, because mankind is meant for more than survival. Going against survival instincts, especially in a hostile world, is difficult. But mankind was never meant to do it alone. To the beast, I gave an already created sense of instinct. To man, I allotted angels. Oh, a beast can go it alone. He gives angels to men, because they can't go it alone. First, angels were tasked to remind and inform mankind of who they really are. Man was unconscious of his creation, not knowing whence he came, so I sent angels to man to teach him who he was and to rouse him up to his capabilities for which I created him. Second, angels were tasked to help mankind distinguish the difference between direct and indirect inspiration to control the behavior of mortals unto everlasting life. By inspiration or otherwise, while also being discreet in governing so that mortals received the light but had the freedom to make their own choices. Mortals were supposed to make mistakes and suffer the stakes of obedience to become wise rather than remain ignorant. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. He's making sense. He's right. Right? Those guardrails, practical guidebook. Third, since the angel H Soho offspring were joint hearers in heaven, angels would help to inspire mankind to use their talents to the best of their abilities to serve those beneath them. So eventually, to eventually be promoted to wider fields of labor. And this work had a top-down nature, meaning as the angels guided mankind, the angels would receive guidance from the lords and gods above them, with whom they could receive guidance from the ascended beings above them, and so on. You got to love the economy of the creator. You got to love the economy. It's got to be each one teach one for your own well-being too. Your resurrection is tied to their resurrection. So how do you like that? That's the creator's economy. Telling you, man, you go about lowering people's spiritual grade. You know, you better think about that. You better think, man. You better. I mean, oh man, come on. Why waste your time? Can't you see the creator's will for mankind? Can't you at least see it? You cannot lose, man, by constantly empathizing with brethren, changing your mind about brethren. See, and as much as ye raise them up that are beneath you, so I send them who are above you down to you to raise you up. To man, I allotted angels, and even these have I provided with others above them, and yet others above them, forever and forever. Lastly, angels were tasked to keep a record for every mortal with the grade of their wisdom and good works. A record. We each got a record. The Akashic records, right? Lastly, angels were tasked to keep a record for every mortal with the grade of their wisdom and good works. See? Huh? Other sources calls this the Akashic records. So that when the mortal died and their spirit was delivered to a spirit guide, their record went with them. This is priceless knowledge, man. You know, even in the world, they say things like, man, you don't want that on your record. You going for a job? Applying for bank president? They pick up your records and review it with you sitting there. And there it is on your record. 30-year bid for bank robbery. I don't mean to laugh, man, but as above, so below, man. It only makes sense. The creator, he makes sense, man. So be careful how you deal your relations with other people, man. Be careful. Be careful, man. You know, you better think about it. Be careful with your relations with other people. Yaikwab, be careful, man, of their spiritual grade. Be careful. You don't want to be born in spirit interviewing for a bank president job. And angels say, oh, okay, let's look at your resume here. Oh, all right. Wait a minute. What do you mean 30-year 30-year degree at Sing Sing prison? It took you 30 years to graduate from Sing Sing? Why why did you go there? I had to learn bank robbery. Uh, I couldn't find a way to get it off of my record. And that will conclude the reading of the word. I'm going to pick up again tomorrow. I'm going to do the pick up tomorrow, creator willing. Pick up on this part tomorrow, creator willing. You know, you don't want to rush through this, man. You know, you don't want to rush through this. This is good eating right here. It's a lot of good eating right here, man. You know, we're going to do this nice and slow. Get all the fruit out of it. All right, that'll conclude the reading of this word. Thank you, Creator. Thank you so much for the opportunity to learn what you showed us the difference between man and animal, how we're capacitated, and with the different things that allow us to ascend to greater and greater glory. You showed us, you talked to us about, the big picture is that we are here one time in the flesh. We're here one time in the flesh. And the purpose is for our learning, for our eternal ascension. That's the purpose of our time here on the earth, to learn, to value our brethren, to seek to raise them. And then in doing so, you tell us that we raise ourselves. So, Creator, I thank you for this read, and the brother or sister who gave us this website. It's very encouraging. It lets us know how to redeem the time. We can redeem the time. We want to redeem the time. Tomorrow's going to come. Nothing we can do about it. We might as well redeem it. We might as well redeem it. Each of us is a light, whether we know it or not. We're being used in ways that we do, whether we know it or not, as a witness one way or the other. And so, since that's the case, Creator, we call upon our soul power to manifest righteousness and holiness, Creator. Thank you for the reading of this word, Creator. In your name, so let it be. All right, brother, let's do the soul confirmation. And I trust that no one will come on. I put the link in the chat. So might as well, let's go ahead and we can do the soul confirmation, and we can call it a day until tomorrow, greater willing. All right, the soul confirmation. We can almost do this by memory now. Soul confirmation. And again, if anyone is new, you jumping in at this point in the video, you can read what I got on the screen here, and then read it, stop the video, read it slow, read it meditatively, and then it should help you to understand a little about why we're doing what we're getting ready to do. We want to create a force. We want to create a vortex in the sense that we want to create an action. that will manifest in ourselves and in the world that we live in. So if you read this, it should help give you a foundation as to why this is super important to do these soul confirmations. All right, so 3 times together on 3. All right, I'm a soul organizer of the potencies. 3 times together on 3. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I am a soul organizer of the potencies of the living eternal I am. Again, 1, 2, 3. I am a soul organized of the potencies of the living eternal I am. Again, 1, 2, 3. I am a soul organized of the potencies of the living eternal I am. And brethren, that is it for February 20th, 2025. The video, brethren, I trust. There's I guess I could hang out for about 30 more seconds and see if anyone will click the link, and if you want to share anything or have anything that you want to comment on or whatever. So another good read. I'm going to pick up on the second part tomorrow, creator willing. So thank you, man, oh man. Thank you, brethren, for joining. And I hope that the creator really encourages you, is really, encouraged you. Telling us about the how the separation between man and animal and why we're able to be harvested, and just the differences between us and the animals. We can understand a little better the animal world, the spiritual side of it. So, brethren, I think that will be it then. That's the best I can do for right now. So thank you for joining me. And creator willing, tomorrow I'll see you again. Until then, peace be unto you. Shalom.